message, sent yesterday, at 1:15 a.m. Duration, 3 minutes.
Ayo, Eric, this is Eric. Yeah. So I have this idea for the mashup, for the grind. Obviously, you're gonna forget. You always forget, so might as well put a voicemail in. Yes, make sure you remember. So like the legacy theme. So like, what you can do at first is you can do the and then you can do the sorry, my water. Oh, my water. Yeah, Vaughn. And then like you can, instead of starting with you can start with the snare. So like you can, right, and then they can like put it all together and be like. So yeah. Also, by the way, don't use AJ's theme, man. That shit's getting old. All right, just letting you know. Like that's getting old. Like for real. Don't use it, please. If anything, use Punk's wife's AJ's theme. Don't use Styles, man. Just anything. Just please.
Message erased. There are no more new messages.
Hello. Hello, all you beautiful pepples on the internet. It's Saturday. You know what that means. It is time for the Kamen Rider ZEZTZ-udan for this Saturday, February 21st, 2026. I am, of course, your host, Call-Sign Henshin, the mercenary with the kicks, coming to you live from the year 2286. How's everyone doing tonight? We are in for a doozy. We ended last week with a berserk form, something we hadn't seen in Kamen Rider for almost half a decade. Get it? Decade? You know? We hadn't seen for like 4 or 5 years. We hadn't seen a hazard form, a berserk form. We hadn't seen it. And now it's back in the most interesting way possible. We are not entirely certain what's going on with the overall, like, power. Like, if he's truly, when he uses it, loses control, or is it just like in that moment he did? Like, we're unsure of what the future holds for us here. This is looking big because it looks like either Nox is going to get some retribution or some big revelation's going to happen. Something's going on, and that lady seems to know what's up. She seems to know what's going on in regards to our hero Baku and why he's acting the way he is. She knows something. And if I was wagering a bet here, I think it is definitely that... Remember how Baku was getting those migraines and like passing out? That, if I had to wager a guess, I think that was Catastrum fighting his way out. Like, that's what makes the most sense to me. I think Catastrum was fighting his way out. And then once Baku used it for his power, he's out now. So, it's definitely... And not to mention to find out that our boy Baku is like the chosen one of some sort. The fact that he could, one, remember a dream that he has at a baby, and from there gain this power, like, it's kind of like crazy, like, what's going on, you know, like, because here's the thing, obviously they're not gonna like go in lore about when like he achieved cognizance, because I feel like that becomes a whole other argument, but like the fact that like as a kid he had a nightmare, a nightmare he had as a baby, he somehow got into it is crazy, which means that Baku has more control over the dreams than any other code agent. He's got like some mad dream power because he was able to conjure that dream. Like, he was able to conjure that joint. That is not something that like anyone can normally do. That is so much like they are like subtly throwing in the fact that Baku is more powerful than he knows. He's got, and to him this is nothing. This is like something he can just do. But to the viewer, this is, for all intents and purposes, this is Baku like finding new power, because he's already had like. Can we talk about how the lady knows something? That's what I think. Is that here's what I think. Those times where she was like trying to control his mind, whenever he would go in for those quote unquote therapy sessions, I think she was reading Catastrum. Right? She wasn't like trying, like she tried controlling him. That didn't work. But she did it again. And I think, because she thinks she knew something was there with him. Clearly she knows something, but she's not letting Nox in on it. Which leads me to believe that this lady might also be, like, throwing Nox for a loop. And then there's still that whole thing where he gunned down 2 agents. And to me, it felt like, why would he use the terminology eternal slumber? You know, like, that, maybe that's overthinking it, but I feel like there's something there. Right? As I mentioned last week. There's something there with that. I truly don't believe that they are dead. That Agents 5 and 6 are dead. I think they're just going to be in a coma state, much like Nem is. But again, I could be wrong. Again, I'm never going to claim that I'm right. I just happen to get a lot of predictions right, but I'm not going to claim that I'm always right, because there's going to be a time. There's going to be a time where, like, I'm going to get it wrong. But a world without code is a world full of nightmares. At this point, we don't even know for certain. We don't know what. At this point now, code is raising more questions on what they're doing than what that lady is. Because clearly something's going on, but I feel like the agents themselves don't even know. You know? Like, the agents don't even... I don't think even the agents understand what's going on. You know what I mean? I feel like they're, like, flying off the seat of their pants just as much, but they have just learned not to question it, unlike Baku, who's questioning everything. But, like... And it goes back to what Zero said, that they have to operate in some morally gray areas. So, for me personally, that's just, like... There's something going on there. Because clearly the other agents don't seem to have a problem with everything that seems to be going on. You know? There's clearly something wrong. That, like, it's not hitting, right? But 5 and 6 never stopped to question it. They just kept doing agent shit. And then assaulted Baku and then 5 assaulted Baku when he was having questions. Somehow they must have learned that asking questions in this profession is pointless, right? I feel like that's where it's going. Whether or not that's exactly it, I don't know. Kamen Rider Peter Gabu. Henshin. Welcome to the Henshin Corps. Please claim your locker at your earliest convenience in the Rider Barracks. And welcome to the Corps. And ultimately, man, we are at a position right now. We're at a position right now where, like, there's so much up in the air, and it gives that air of a massive lore drop happening. Like, it feels like there's going to be a lore drop of some sort. I don't know if it's going to be this episode or not, but there definitely is an air of, oh, they're going to drop a knowledge bomb on us. You know what I mean? That's the vibe I'm getting. That's what I'm feeling about this. You know what I mean? Like, something's coming. Remember the World of Dreams is protected, aka run by code? Oh, no, I remember that. But the thing is that at this point, what's real and what's not anymore? Because, again, if it's like... I don't know how to put this. Again, code is supposed to be protecting dreams, but it feels like there's something bigger at play here. You know what I mean? Like, it definitely feels like there's more to code than we can literally decipher. I don't think they protect the dreams the way, you know, that we think they do. But right now, we're going in this next episode, and Nem is going to realize that she is the generator of the nightmares. So that's going to be an interesting little wrinkle there in terms of how Baku reacts and everything. Because I feel like Katashim's trying to, like, feed off his anger. I don't know. But, you know what? It's almost time. 15 seconds on the clock. Let us head over to our cinema, and let us get ready. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, here we go. Hey, his name is Baku.
この世の悪を撲滅するエージェントという夢を見ていた普通の好青年だ。現実に現れてしまったナイトメアを止めるため立ち向かった高度のエージェントが全滅。悪夢はある日突然訪れ歪んだ世界をぶち壊す。俺の心の中で何かが壊れた。
Something in his mind was broken. Hell you go.
お前はコードが生んだ悪夢の申し子だ。お前を壊す。Apple the nightmare scenario.
My guy, you are punching a brick wall. Whoa! power of things broken down. Basically, he's saying that Catastrum is like all the power at like the base scale. Like it's everything come together. Whoa! Hoverboard! Ride the kick! Oh! Instant transmission kick. Break! Damn! Yeah! Oh, blazing! I love it.
もう後戻りはできないぞ。変身した者は人の道を踏み外す。
Those who transform step off the path of humanity,
見続けるしか
doomed to dream nothing but bad dreams for.
ないんだ。
Huh. Wait, is. Not. Whoa! Nox is dead! Nox is motherfucking dead!
Odaka. おい、小高しっかりしろ。よろずさん、よろずさん、小高。大丈夫か。
Nope, he's gone, baby. He's gone.
バカ野郎。なんでこんなこと。
This is some heavy shit we're looking at right here. This is some heavy fucking shit. God damn, he's still alive. Usually that kind of power, like berserk power, takes a toll on the user. The fact that he's still alive, considering his heart has stopped multiple times in the past, is insane to me. This man's is still kicking. This man's is still out here. Main character syndrome at its finest. But man, that just went hard, man. Like, he's like, this is like a and you know what? Nox is right. Nox is right. He just crossed the line because he killed him. He is no. Once you cross that line of taking someone's life, you stop being human. And that's not just in the case of the show. That's real, right? Because someone who has the gall to take someone else's life is a monster. That kind of thing is not something that like you'll come out of prison looking. No, you signed your check, my guy. You're done. Like. So the fact that now Baku has crossed that line is like fucking mental.
上に確認を取った。彼はこのまま極秘で管理する。
They're treating him with utmost secrecy? But Fujimi said that?
命に関わるような容体ではなく、ただ眠っているだけのようなので。
Wait, but your higher ups are from the police, no?
しかし、いくら叩き起こそうとしてもうんともすんとも言わない。どうなってんだ。
実は最近になってやけに睡眠時間が長くなってて気になっていたんです。彼の体に何か異変が。
Ah, there it is. A little foreboding. Maybe the belt is causing him to perpetually sleep. There it is.
俺が甘かった。もっと早くこうするべきだったんだ。
本当にそう思ってる？
ああ。
Uh-oh.
だったらなんで泣いてるの？
Whoa, 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 whoa! Her eyes! You see her eyes? Holy shit!
あなたのおかげで彼は覚醒した。
The fact that our secondary writer is already dead, like, that
おや
is...
すみノックス。
That's insane.
よろずみなみさん。
This is
奥
crazy.
さんが寝たきりに。
兄はどんな相談をしていたんですか？
ご家族といえど個人情報なので。
このまま兄が目覚めなかったらどうするんですか？
ご本人には内緒にすると約束していただけますか？
Oh.
はい。
最近何度も悪夢を見ると何か仕事のことで思い詰めていたようで、ご本人も自覚していない彼の深層心理の中に破壊願望があるのかもしれません。
破壊？
破
その願
壊。
望が彼にさまざまな悪夢を見せているとお心当たりありますか？
そういえば
Wait.
兄は誰か人助けをしようとすると悪夢みたいな現実ばかりが起きて、
Oh.
その現実も彼の深層心理が引き起こした悪夢でしょう。
Jeez, how many doors does he have?
歴史上のあらゆる災害や不幸は人が見た悪夢による影響とする説が。
どうすればいいんですか？兄はどうなってしまうんですか？
声をかけ続けるしかありません。悪夢をさまよっている彼を覚醒させるために。
You're strangely helpful.
ご家族であるあなただけです。
Oh boy. What's the... Okay, now what's your end game? You were just dropping info like it was nothing. Okay, number 3. What's your end game here?
"悪夢が現実で起きてる。寝てる場合か。
Oh!
そこで何してる？
それはこっちのセリフだ。開示か。
誰だあんた？なんで俺たちのことを知ってる？
小高健生の遺体を回収したそうだが、セブンに何が起きた？
さあ、あんたコードの人間か？
部外者に答える義務
ファイブはどうなった？
彼も殉職した。
それだけですか？クレアはあなた方のエージェントが亡くなってるんですよ。気にならないんですか？
死んだ人間を忍んでいる暇はない。
I don't like your tone, my guy. To be fair, I never liked this tone, to be fair.
エー
ージェントだって一人の人間でさ。
出せますか。おい、コードって何なんだ。我々だってセブンのミッションをサポートしてきた。それくらい知る権利があるだろう。
Confidential Organized
Defensive Establishment.
世界各国の諜報機関が軍や警察
Ooh, Lord Drop! Let's go!
地球外生命体や怪人などの超常現象に対抗するため合同で
I called it, man. The Lord Drop.
その対象の一つがナイトメアってことか。
エージェントは極秘に任務を遂行し極秘に任務を終える。生死に関わらず
使い捨ての駒に過ぎないってことですか。そんなのあんまりです。
世界平和は多くの犠牲によって
Ooh, there it is. There it is. Dude, that gut punch was fucking uncalled for.
ここまで事態を悪化させたのは俺だ。夢主を救うって大義名分を言い訳に自分の手を汚すことを避けてきた。そのせいで
違う。私がナイトメアを生み出したから。施設で育てられていた頃から思ってた。
Okay, that's more casual than I expected.
親は誰なんだろうって。そういう疑問とか不安から目を背けたくて、世界中が幸せになってくれたらって、みんなが夢を叶えてくれたらって考えるようになって。
Huh.
誰よりも
Peas in a pod, baby.
夢を叶えたかったのは君だったんだな。
ありがとう。バクに出会えて私変われた。
え？
誰かの夢じゃない。自分の手で夢を叶えられるかもしれないって。
Why does... Don't make this feel definitive, man. Don't... Why does this feel definitive? Don't do that. That felt strangely definitive, and I don't like that.
それはネム自身の心の強さだろう。俺も強くなるために捨てる覚悟を決める。
捨てるって何を？
よろずバクという人生だ。
それって本当にバクの夢なの？あなたはそれでいいの？
俺がやらなきゃ世界は守れない。
Oh god, does this mean he's never gonna wake up?
もちろん君のこともな。
世界の終末みたい。
違う。呼んでるんだ。
バク起きて。朝だよ。
It's calling him.
そろそろ行こう。ネム、君も一緒に。
何する気？
悪夢を叶えるんだよ。ナイトメアは悪夢を叶えて現実へと抜け出す。俺たちだってできるはずだ。
待って。悪夢を叶
He...
える。
Oh god, he is tapping into forces that he doesn't understand.
バ
Drop the moon!
ファインドネブ。いつか君を見つけ出すから。
Wait. Whoa, what? That fucking worked! That worked! You mean to tell me he could have done what the motherfucker, what good night, huh? How does that fucking work?
バク。よかった。ずっと寝てたから心配したんだよ。
ああ。もう大丈夫だ。
え？ちょっとバク。何する気？課長、起きてください。課長。
Oh, I heard the crack. Oh, he's locked in. He's locked in.
その名前はもう捨てた。
Yeah, oh god, it's real. Oh god, it's real. Oh god. Dude, what the fuck? Are they gonna leave us on a hanger here? Don't do that to us. Don't leave us on a cliffhanger. Don't do this to us. Oh god, the fact that he's 7 in real life is insane. Wait, does that fit over the belt? Oh, I see how it works. Oh my god, what? I don't know if I like what's happening. Dude, I love this form. Like, dear God. This man about to punch some lights out. Mama said knock you out. I'm gonna knock you out. The question is, how much control over Catastrophe does he really have? Bam! Okay, there's some dream shenaniganry happening here. Whoa! Epic gun! Impact! Wind! Plasma! Oh my god! Point blank! Oh my lord! My god, do you know how many people you've killed? Just there? Control that shit! So you mean to tell me that somehow Nem's consciousness was locked?
ずっとこの日を待っていた。
Those tubes are telling me something. Why are you smiling?
ようやく会えた。ネム。
Dude, I don't even recognize Nem with her with that look. I don't recognize her.
お母さん。
Oh! What? 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 What the fuck?
すべてはネム。あなたを救うため。
壊さないで。私のお母さんを。
君は用済みだ。
You've outlived. Oh no. What the fuck? What the fuck? What? What? I say again, what the fuck just happened? My brain, it cannot comprehend the madness that we have just seen. What the fuck? The fuck? I'm at a loss for words. Okay, let's break it down. So clearly, Code is not to be trusted. Because clearly, they pretty much want world peace, but at the expense of human life. Right? That not like totally eradicate the world, but they're willing to sacrifice many for the peace of the rest. You know what I mean? Like, that is so mental. And the fact that we started this episode with Nox getting killed. She said mom. She called the bitch mom. What the fuck? Like, and we're supposed to just sit on that? Are you serious? Like, oh, I feel like I need to turn myself down because I'm gonna be doing a lot of yelling. Hold on 1 second. 1 sec. I'm gonna just turn myself down just a bit. What the fuck? You know what? At this point, I am genuinely mistrusting of everybody at this point. Because, man, both sides are insane. Lord number 3 next episode. Oh, he's going to get wrecked. He's fighting Catastrum. I don't think he's got a chance in hell. But, one, again, here's a weird thing. If, like, thinking about it objectively. Remember what Nem said in a dream? She didn't know who her parents were. And then she wakes up and immediately calls this bitch mom. Either she lied to Baku, or I guess lied to Seven because he left behind his name. So either she lied to Seven, or that was just her first instinct upon waking up. Because remember, she's been in a coma for like a decade. I think in lore, I think she's been in a coma. Oh, no. It was about like 4 years. She's been in a coma for about 4 to 5 years. So, the fact that she, like, huh? Like, it was literally like, we just had a Luke, I am your father moment in ZEZTZ. Like, that is mental. That is fucking mental, man. Dane, I know that you like having your OC and stuff, but you don't have, again, it ain't that deep, man. It's a show. It ain't that deep. All right? Like, I'm not here to, like, crash on your fun. You want to make your own OC, your own Kamen Rider OC, like, all means, go for it. But, like, sometimes you ask me questions and I get the point that I feel like you either actually believe this or you're that invested, right? And this is not me, like, throwing a dig at you. This ain't me throwing a dig at you. It's just something I've noticed. Just something I've noticed. You expect the lady to say something like my daughter, not that Nem would. Yeah, I feel like it would have made more sense coming out of the lady than it would coming out of Nem. You know what I mean? It was a weird choice. An extremely baffling choice. But, like, if anything, the fact that it came out of Nem just raises, like, a lot of questions. Again, because it leaves the question, did she lie? Or did she, like, I don't know. Like, there's so many questions here. So many questions. The fact that, like, I'm still in shock that Nox is dead. People can remember. Yeah, but, like, but again, Nem in the dream said she doesn't remember who her parents were. So then why all of a sudden when she meets this lady, she immediately remembers it's her mother? That's what I'm not getting here. Right? Like, it's super weird. You know? Like, super bizarre. Code does not give a shit. Because, here's the thing. And it sucks because now we're seeing, like, that, like, okay, this lady is on the side of evil, right? Code is on the side of good, but still doing evil shit. Right? Like, Code is the literal embodiment of the path to goodwill is paved with evil intentions. Right? Or it's more like the road to hell is paved with good intentions, I think it goes. But the whole fact of the matter of that is ultimately, like, I can't, like, there's something bothering me. There is something bothering me. And it's how fast Baku was just able to, like, fully become 7 in real life. That's what gets me. How easily. So 7 woke up Nem, now what? That's a good question. It's not uncommon to remember after a coma, but if she did not know her parents before, and if I can see where it makes no sense. Yeah, exactly. She never met, remember, she was in an orphanage for, like, when she was little. And she said never remembered her parents, but somehow she remembers that this is her mom. So my logic, and follow me on this logic here. Think back to the mind wipe that this bitch did to Baku's sister. There is a possibility that she might have implanted that memory into Nem as a failsafe. Right? Because she knows that, like, she would not raise hands against her mother. Right? So this could all be, like, mental, like, brainwashing that this bitch did to her while she was out in the coma. I could see that totally being a thing, but as far as we can tell, this bitch has never used. We've never seen her use it on an unconscious person, right? But if it can work on an unconscious person, then there's very much that she's not actually Nem's mother. She just brainwashed her into thinking that. Because some things are not adding up there, and it's super bizarre. But the big question here is what happens now? Because by the looks of it, she is going to reveal herself. Right? Because clearly in the preview, like, Nem actually tells Seven that's her mother. So, Kamen Rider Dawn. I think it's related to how he woke up. He exited the same way that nightmares do, by making a bad dream. Oh, that is... Wait. But he was himself in the dream. He was himself. I mean, it makes sense. But in the moment, he was... Yeah, like... Yeah, I know. It makes sense. But in that moment, in that dream, he wasn't Seven. So, So basically in the dream, he said he could renounce his name. Okay, maybe that's what that is. Okay. So he said he would renounce his name and ended up doing it in real life. Dude, I still think that punch 3 gave him in the gut was uncalled for. I'm amazed he didn't wake up and be in tremendous pain. I am so amazed that didn't happen. Zero returns? I didn't see that in the preview. But yeah, if you got, like, again, if you're, like, reading spoilers, like, online or stuff, please do not bring them in here, because we like to watch this on the same time as the show and learn it firsthand. So if you know any spoilery stuff, don't reveal it. So I would appreciate that. Nightmare Biology finally catching up. The thing, though, is I feel like Baku himself is going to become something more, right? Because this... Okay, let me put it to you like this. Let me put it to you like this. Gaim. What do I mean by Gaim? Kamen Rider Gaim had this really interesting way of obfuscating who could be trusted and who couldn't. To the point, at the end, no one could be trusted. Right? And, like, ultimately, it becomes to that point that right now, we don't know who to trust in. Obviously, we're not going to trust that bitch, but now even Code cannot be trusted. Because they are willing to kill people to maintain the status quo. And that, my friends, is worse than maintaining the status quo, right? Like, you know, fighting monsters is one thing, but just not even, like, taking a moment to respect those who have died, you know? And just use them as, like, absolute pawns. Like, at this point, both organizations are doing the same thing, right? On one hand, this bitch is using nightmares as tools. Code is using agents as tools. And if they die, no one gives a fuck. You understand how messed up that is? These are literally two sides of the same coin. We cannot be trusted. There is some Uro Butcher level shit happening here. The only guy we can truly trust is Baku, and even now, right now, in the way he is in, he's letting the darkness consume him. So at this point, we can't even root for the hero, because he's going through some shit. You feel me? Mance is going through some shit that he definitely needs to work through. On Nox's death, like, I was not expecting it, if I'm being perfectly honest. I thought like he would be fatally wounded, but still manage to make his way back to the lady, and then like the lady would go on a monologue or something. Nah, just killed him in the moment. That's what I thought was insane. But like, man, that is just insane. Like, the fact that, and here's my thing. You mean to tell me they could have done this at any time to revive Nem, and just no one ever did it until now? Right? But then again, I guess Baku's the first person to ever, like, make his own bad dream come true, I guess. I don't know. Wait just a fucking minute. I just had a thought, and I need y'all to hear me out on this. What if he didn't truly renounce the name, and instead both personalities swaps places? So the next time Seven goes to sleep, it'll be Baku in the dream world. Like a revice situation. What if they did that? That'd be fucking insane. Like, motherfucker, you didn't renounce your name. You just confined Baku to the dream world. Like, that would be fucking insane. That was Garo level of dark? Nah. I've seen Garo. That's not Garo dark. Garo dark is fucking yikes. Like, bruh, like, not this is still like dark even for Kamen Rider but on normal TV. If this was on Amazon, this would be tame compared to Amazon's and that Black Sun. This would be tame in comparison. But in terms of televised all ages Kamen Rider, yeah, this is pretty dark. But I wager still Gaim has the edge on it because Gaim was written by the Euro Butcher. So, maybe you know, I don't know. Hey. Also, your stream is late. Is it like delayed? Yeah, you know what? The funny you say that, Scruff. I feel like that is a pretty good metaphor. Because when you think about it, I think Majora's Mask is, like, it's a lot of time traveling, but I genuinely believe, like, if you look at it objectively, it is pretty much similar to this. Right? That was a dream world of sorts. Right? And if you look at, like, the 4 masks that you get along the way, like the main ones, Majora's Mask itself, the Goron mask, the Zora mask, the Deku mask. Yeah, like, I mean, you could say it's almost 1-to-1. Almost. Except in this show there's not. Well, to be fair, in this show the moon just looks fucking weird. And in Majora's Mask it also looks weird. Just the difference is ours Zetz doesn't have a face on it. It's just weirdly concave. Dude, I swear that gun, and the fact that they just reveal it, no name to it, nothing. And then, like, I mean, I'm going to assume it's called the Triple Buster, because that's what the attack said, but it's gotta have a name, right? Like, what's the name of the gun? Like, the name of the toy? Does anyone know? Like, does anyone have an idea? Because I don't know what it's called. Like, I don't follow, like, the toy news and stuff like that, because Dane, don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it. If this really bothered me, I would have banned you from the stream a long time ago. It doesn't bother me. Don't worry about it. I was just pointing out something I noticed. Okay, I wasn't taking a dig at you. That was something I noticed. But here's the thing. Going back to the thing is that they threw so much at us in such a small span of time that it is mental that I'm still processing it all. Just so much thrown at us. And now the question, like, there's some smaller questions that remain. Does that mean Baku's never coming home? Like, is he just going to be on the road for the rest of his life? Like, has he truly renounced his old life? You know, things like that. And on top of it all, it's like, at this point, it's all just, like, the entire system is going to, like, be thrown on its head. Mans was in over his head, and now the entire dichotomy of the show, of the how they operate, is going to change so hard. Sorry, I need to take a swig. Triple Zetzer? Okay, that name that name kind of slaps. Not gonna lie, that name's kind of cool. Triple. The fact it doesn't say Triple Zetzer when it comes out, kind of a waste. Kind of a waste. Maybe it'll say it when if he ever tames Catastrum, right? My man playing with fire, he don't care. Like, for realsies. Like, this guy is playing with fire, and he does not care. Catastrum, I think, is, like, possibly one of the best rider forms I've seen in a long time. Don't get me wrong. I've seen, like, rider forms before, and they all are awesome. But Catastrum, I think, like, has to be the best one I've seen in a while. Right? Like, dude. It's like they looked at freaking, like, Zero Eagle when he becomes Zero Gorilla, and they're like, how can we make this look better? And then they said, I know, let's just slap a bunch of armor plates that look like muscle on them. And I'm like, brilliant! Print! And there we go. That's Catastrum right there. He probably won't say that line where that's at least what I dream about. I don't think he's going to say that line anymore. He's going to start with my name is 7. And then it's going to go as normal. But that one line where he says at least that's what I dream about, I don't think he's going to say that anymore. Okay. You know what vibe I was getting with that kick? Bro, my guy hit the kick. He shot. And then he got kicked again. Y'all remember in the Cell, in Dragon Ball Z, in the Cell Saga, where Goku's threatening to do a Dragon Ball, a Kamehameha, but at the distance that he was, it would have destroyed, like, a good part of the planet. But instead, he does instant transmission and then gets up in the guy's face and kicks him. And hits him with it. Like, he instant transmissions it so he can, like, do it point blank. That's the vibe that it gave me. Even though, like, it looked like he reset because he then came through the hovercraft, but it gave me that vibe of like, oh, my guy sent out the decoy and then teleported back to hit him again. That's what I thought was, like, really interesting about that. It was, like, so good. Like, my God. But, man, the implications. The first 2 henshins where he does the shadow thing, now he's able to use it outside of the transformation process. To be fair, yeah. Because, like, but what I find interesting is that I'm thinking back to the conversation this bitch had with. I'm just gonna call her this bitch until we get a proper name, right? But this bitch had the conversation with Seven's sister. And, like, she was saying that, like, it was a primordial desire for destruction. Somehow, the way that it was phrased was weird, and then how she made the jump to that being his bad luck. Like, it was a weird jump, because I feel like in a normal conversation, that didn't, like, track. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't track the way I think it should have. Right? Because I thought the way she was saying it, Oh, that like, no, he's just a destructive motherfucker deep down. No, she wasn't doing the mind control thing on the explanation. She literally mind controlled him just so she wouldn't tell Baku about that shit. Though I find it really interesting that that correlation was made by her. No, I don't think it was implanting the idea. But here's the thing. She only brainwashed her to not tell her brother about this. That's not stopping her from telling the PSB. That's not stopping telling to the fucking agents. So, like, what the fuck was that supposed to do? You know? That's like a super weird... That's like a super bizarre little thing thrown in there. Like, it doesn't track. Like, it's super bizarre. Like, I can't put my finger on it, but there's, like... That seems like a very, like, strange move to make where it's not entirely, like, foolproof. You kind of left that door kind of open. Though I don't know what somehow Seven finding out what that is would do. For all we know, it could, like, help him unlock another form, but we don't know. To make people that support Baku distrust him. Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that. Dude, I still think that hoverboard was fucking amazing. I want that. No, I don't. Okay, maybe that might be going a little too far, but because I don't think that they want to implant to think that Baku is evil. I can agree, though, if, like, she's trying to gaslight other people, but, like, like, Baku then, like, starts thinking that he can't trust anyone, right? Because then at that point, he'll truly cut ties with everyone, and because of that, no one will back him up when the Catastrum, like takes fully over. And we're already going to see in the next episode that Catastrum is doing some damage to our boy. It's doing some damage for using it. We're going to see that because they literally show the Catastrum form. They show the Catastrum form literally just like bubbling up and shit. So I wouldn't like mind, because here's the thing. What I think is going to happen, and actually, I don't think this is going to happen. This is a theory. Now that Nem's awake, what do you think happens from there? You know? That could be, yeah, she's going to, like, get people to start distrusting him, and he's going to be alone, but who do you think she would want to make sure that that happens to the most? Nem. Because she knows that she must know that Nem is, like, tight with Seven. Is tight with Seven. Code was bringing her in? Were they? I don't know. I don't feel like Nem would join an agency. Like, I don't feel like that's her shit. You know? Someone on the preview was holding a gun. Yeah. I don't think Nem's gonna become an agent in the traditional sense. You know what I mean? I don't think she's gonna become an agent. Because I feel like with this war between Code and this bitch, I feel like the only way to be is like someone was arresting her? Oh. Forcibly conscripted. Yikes. God, I wish Zero was still around, man. Apparently he looks like he's coming back. I hope he comes back. Because right now, shit's going to hell. Shit's going to hell, and we need Zero now more than ever as a voice of reason. Because this shit right here, like all out spy warfare is happening. And the world is going to be like the battlefield. The waking world is going to be the battlefield. Two organizations at each other's necks. Just the fucking and the real world's gonna, like, we're all gonna be like collateral damage. And that's a terrifying thing to think about. That is a terrifying thing to think about. Whew, man. But, like, we are on the precipice. We're, like, on the precipice of, like, a turning point into what can essentially be a war. The guy in the preview is real. So we're getting real Zero, not Bike Zero, which kind of sucks. But if it's Zero, fuck yeah. We need Zero now more than ever. God damn. If there was ever anyone who could actually get to 7, it's Zero. The human Zero, by the looks of it. But yeah, like, we're reaching the midpoint where shit is getting real. Right? Like, even his name is a spoiler? Oh, I didn't see the name of the episode. But yeah, man, we are at the midpoint, and this is when shit starts getting real. The capsule that contains catastrophe. I didn't see that. Okay. But man, we are at the mid game. And also, do you want to name that his official name? You mean of the Demon King? What was the Demon King's official name? Or do you mean the nightmare that becomes Catastrophe? Like, which one? The Catastrophe. Okay, what's Catastrophe's actual name? Catastrophe Gore. Gore. Sorry, I will always pull a random reference out. The minute you said Gore, wrestling came to mind. I know what they actually meant, but, like, no. Catastrophe Gore. That's crazy. That is some crazy shit, my guy. Well, next week, folks, we have a mountain of an episode, because clearly the way that preview is set up, at this point we're in a full-on arc. We're not doing the 2 episode mini arc. We are in a full-on arc right now. And next week's things are gonna get, like, fucking heavy. Now, here's the thing that, like, worries me. Is Zero gonna have 7's back or 3's back? That's the big question here. Like, again, because remember, near the end of Bike Zero, he was also leaning into that gray area. What pretty much 3 confirmed is that's how the organization operates. Zero was starting to lean there, and remember, even threatened Baku's sister. Remember that. So, what worries me is that either Zero's going to have 7's back or he's going to have 3's back. And if he has 3's back, we're fucked. But no, I think, like, here's the thing. The man killed. Like, it's pretty much confirmed at this point. The man killed 2 people. Yeah, his death was merited. So I don't think anyone's going to be mad at you for that. Absolutely not. The guy had it coming. Like, I'll be real with you. Nox had it. For doing that, he had it coming. And in sense of story-wise, it made sense because at that point, it was the trauma. It was what set off the trauma response for Baku, and that's how he ends up with Catastrum because that's what set him off. So in a narrative sense, yeah. So I can understand your anger. I mean, you didn't get his head on a pike, but he did die. So take your wins where you can get it. Also, that was really super foreboding how, oh, he's dead in real life. Oh, no, he's dead in a dream now. Just, he's there. But yeah, just like y'all, we just gotta like take it all in, man, because things I feel are going to get heavier. Things are going to get heavier, and I guarantee that things are going to get worse before they get better. But in terms of, and while that might sound a little off-putting, I will say this: in terms of the lore, in terms of the show, yeah, things are gonna get. In terms of the story, yeah, things are gonna get worse before they get better. But us as fans watching this shit, we eating good, baby. We eating good. I'm telling you, we's eating. Man, we're eating good in the neighborhood, man. We're eating good. And on that note, guys, I think it's time for us to start wrapping up, start winding things down here. I do appreciate y'all for coming out tonight. It's been a hell of a ride so far with Kamen Rider ZETZ, and I've been glad y'all have been with me through it all. Gotta mute that. It's like, I'm glad that you guys have been here with me on this journey, just taking it all in. It means the world to me that you guys have come in and shared your love of Kamen Rider with me. That being said, I hope to see y'all tomorrow for the Space Sheriff ZEZTZ-udan. Tomorrow we're looking at episode 2 where Gavan Bushido makes his formal debut. I can't wait, man. Fucking Gavan Bushido is gonna be so hype. I'm ready for it. Yes. So I hope to see you guys tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central, for the Space Sheriff ZEZTZ-udan. That's gonna be a hell of a good one. On Twitch, I'm going to send y'all over to my boy Roy Kiato, who's playing some GTA 5. Everyone, if you're on YouTube, yeah, the stream's just going to end. But I do appreciate y'all coming out, showing the love. I appreciate y'all so much, and I will see you all tomorrow. This is Call Sign Henshin, your mercenary with the kicks, coming to you from 2286, reminding you that the future is yours and yours alone to conquer. Conquer it by any means necessary. I will see you guys tomorrow for the ZEZTZ-udan. Until then, peace out.